What's up, people? Your favourite weirdo is back in the business. Difference about me. I've had a haircut. I think that's probably the main reason. Well, I haven't messaged you to like put a video up recently. I'll be like, oh, my hair, kind of thing that I don't want you guys to see it because, you know, I don't think it looks good. But you know, positives. Right, I'm going to do a biggie video today. I'm really struggling to think right now. Well, I know what I'm talking about. So today I'm going to talk about, I don't know if I ever mentioned it in my past videos, but I was in hospital for my depression for a couple of months. I think 3 months it was, and that's quite a lot of time to be in hospital. I mean, any hospital. I was in the Bethlem adolescent unit. Big mouthful of words to say. What can I talk about? Basically, I'm not going to name names there because it's a whole confidentiality thing. But I was in there because my depression and anxiety was that kind of bad that I couldn't cope with like the world, so I couldn't, you know, I couldn't safely be with other people, I guess, if you put it that way. I wasn't put on section. I went informal. But it was at the state where it was either I go informal or, because I had a massive argument about, I don't know, it was a long argument if you like look back at, you know, if you look back at, kind of thing, if you look back at what I had, like, why I chose it, I mean, that's a different video, it's really long, it's like, there. Hard to think back, but I was in there. Now people would say, "Oh, it's a negative place. You know, you're for people who are ill and da 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 da." I mean, yeah, I happily admit I didn't want to be there. I mean, I would happily say, hand on heart, I would have said I'd love not to be in hospital, but you know, things don't work out the way you always wanted it to plan out. Sometimes, like for me, it didn't work out at all. Like, you know, so I went in there, and for me, it was a different experience because you're in hospital continuously, and then you have a break where you go like home on leave. This is just with this hospital. I don't know what it's like for other hospitals, kind of thing. But for me, it was, you kind of got to know. There was like 12 rooms, and it was like, yeah, it was 12 rooms. There was 12 rooms. So there'll be 6 boys rooms and 6 girls rooms. And it was kind of like you got to know every single person. So like we all became, like, I know it sounds like kind of dumb, but we all became like families to each other. So we kind of all watched out for each other. We all took care of each other. You know, we would kind of work together, kind of thing, to make ourselves feel better about ourselves. I mean, I've got stories. I remember what we used to talk about, like getting the TV and then putting it on like the door of like the office, and so like the staff couldn't get out, kind of thing, and we'd run around. I mean, yeah, I think that was a positive thing about me being in hospital. I mean, a negative thing for me, I'm just going to talk about positive and negative things, if that makes sense to you. My negative thing for this would be probably being in the environment of where you know you're ill, but you don't want to admit it. So then you're trying to run away from the fact that you are, and then But then you realise that because then it kind of doesn't help when you are ill, and then you're like, it doesn't help when you've got people behind you, if you're locking doors behind you every single place. It did feel a bit like prison, because it was restricted on when you were going out, and it wasn't prison, but it was very much closed doors behind you kind of thing. It was for safety. It was something that was done for safety, but it didn't feel, for me at that time, it didn't feel safe. But now, looking back, it did. I will say this now. Me being in hospital probably did change my life completely. It helped me out so much. If I wasn't in there, I don't know where I'd be today. I don't know if I'd be alive or be dead, honest to God. You know, if you are given the choice to be in hospital, I would think of all your possible factors around you. So like, you know, you can't just think, you got to like think of your parents. You know what I mean? If you're in my position and you're like, and they're saying, you have the choice, it's better for you to go informal than to be put on section, because if you're informal, it's much easier. If you're on section, it's quite hard. You've got to follow certain rules. Certain rules have got to be given, but informal, it's you've chosen, so it's not as pressurising on you. Yeah, I think that story completely, that thing what I just said, really, was just me 6 minutes, kind of 40-50 seconds of me just talking random crap. Hopefully it made sense to you. If it didn't, you know, if you got questions about it, like, inbox me, you know, drop me a little post, you know. But yeah, something. Sorry I haven't done videos. I haven't been top of myself, but like I keep saying, I'm going to keep doing more. And I think I will. Of course I will, because you guys, you get to see this. Actually, that's probably going to just lose all my views from that. Right, I'm just rambling now, so I'll see you guys later.